Hello everyone, welcome to the Data Center Academy. Myself Basit Amin and I am a data center engineer. Today I am going to explain computer room or data hall the data center. Or the question is what's inside a data hall of the data center? As I explained earlier about the data hall or computer room, so a data hall is a specified area within a data center designed to host server, storage devices and networking equipment. Importance of data hall, obviously they house servers and storage devices, so they ensure efficient cooling, power distribution and physical security for valuable data assets. So same question, what's inside a data hall of the data center? So we used to have racks, server and storage devices. What is a server rack? A data center server rack is a type of framework that is usually made from steel and house servers, hubs, network switches, routers, cables, and other technical and electronic equipment. Usually, there are two types of server racks. First one is two post racks. So two post racks, they are like door frames. So they're also known as telco relay racks. They are built to host lightweight equipment like routers, switches, controllers, or very thin servers. So they needs bolting on floor because they are thin and they are mostly used in patch panel type applications. Second type is four post racks. Four post tracks, so they are mostly suitable for ICT equipment. They provide better safety and security. They have front door, back door and side doors. They are used for higher load ratings. In a data center you will find most of the four post tracks. They have different types like glass door, grated door or mesh door. What is a glass door four post track? So glass door four post track, in this rack, the front door is made of glass. So because of the glass, so it is a soundproof and it prevents dust as well. So because front door is made of glass, so hot air leaves from back door or from top of the rack, and we provide cold air from the bottom of the rack through the grills. Perforated four post door rack. So it is also called as grated door rack. It provides good cooling capacity up to 5 kilowatt because it's grated, so airflow of the rack is good. And so because of the grated and perforated door, so its opening is between 20 to 45%. That's why it provides natural ventilation, but it provides less security or it is prone to more risks. So that's why it provides low dust prevention, low soundproofing, and its double back door to provide more security. Mesh door four post rack. So in this rack, the front door is made of mesh. So it has large surface opening up to 85%. That's why it provides more ventilation and they are more prone to dust. They provide very low noise proof, and they have large amount of airflow. They have good greater cooling capacity up to 15 kilowatt and they are used for high heat loads. So they were types of two pore two post tracks and four post tracks, and the other sub subcategories are four post tracks. So racks, obviously, two obviously in a rack we use servers and other equipment. In case of maintenance, so we use to move rack from one place to another place. So better is that we should have casters or feet on the base of the rack. So that allows IT staff to move racks effortlessly during maintenance or upgrades. Color of the rack. Mostly they are white and black, or you will find most of them are black because they are attractive. But color impacts overall light strength, especially in the lower parts of the rack. You will find gray or vanilla color racks in the market as well. Size of the rack. Most of the data center they are used to have 19-inch rack, but we used to have 24-inch racks as well. 24-inch is used for higher applications or higher loads. So typical height is 42U to 52U. U is the unit we use to measure the height of the rack. So 1U is equal to 1.75 inches. More height creates cooling issues, obviously. So 19 inches rack they used to have width up to like 600 millimeter. 24-inch rack they used to have it 800 millimeter. Depth they used to have 40 to 49 inches. Security of the rack, because we used to have sensitive data or valuable data inside the rack, so they should be secured. We used key locks, biometrics, access card, security code, etc. etc. But thing is, electronic locks they are widely used in the data center. They are expensive and easy to manage. This was all about racks. So what's inside the rack? The question is, so inside the rack, we used to have a rack server. What is a rack server? Rack server is kind of computer. So a rack server, also known as rack mount server, rack mounted server, or rack mount computer, is a computer designed to be situated in a rectangular structure called a server rack. So obviously it's like a computer. So they used to have memory and storage as well. They are used for to communicate with the clients or with the other systems as well. So because it's kind of computer. So selection criteria. What is the selection criteria for that? Selection criteria for the rack server used to be memory and storage. What's the RAM? What's the processing power? If it's scalable or not. So how much cooling will it need? Obviously, they emit heat, manageability and sport, budget, if it's expensive or cheap. We used to measure the size of the server by U unit. They used to be 1U or 2U. 1U is equal to 1.75 inches as I explained earlier. And in a 19 inches, we used to have 42U. So you can say that if a server size is 1U small server, then we could have 42 rack servers in one rack. So what's inside the server? We used to have storage devices. Those storage devices could be HDDs, SSDs, or NAS. HDDs they are used for primarily they are used for storage device to store the data. Solid SSDs they're mostly used for communicating the data because they are fast. HDDs they used to have 3 to 5 years lifespan. SSDs they used to have 5 to 10 years lifespan. Obviously, each type serves distinct needs impacting performance, cost, and use cases. We used to have rack rails inside the rack. Obviously, servers and panels are attached to rails and can be slid in and out when needed for troubleshooting, assessment, or upgrades. What else inside the server rack? It's the power distribution unit. We call it rack power rail. We call it rack power strip as well. So in a server rack, we used to have minimum two rack PDUs, two rack power distribution units, or even more than that, like four or six. It depends upon the rack PDU size and the server rack and requirement as well. But the important point is in most of the data center, they used to have redundancy. So it means we would have A and B supply in the server rack. If A supply goes down, then all the load will be shifted to B supply. So the A and B supply they used to have, you can say half of load. It can be 40% or below 40% each. Each server usually has two input powers, one from A supply rack PDU and second from B supply rack PDU. Operating voltage at the rack PDU normally is 230 volt, output is 230 volt as well. So we provide 230 volt to the rack servers. Frequency is 40 to 60 hertz, operating temperature minus 25 to 65 degrees Celsius. Color To be very honest, I have seen most of the rack videos in black. So it was all about racks and what's inside the rack and what's inside the servers. So apart from that, what's inside? Let's get back to our previous question. So what's inside the data hall or computer room? Raised access floor. A raised access floor can be used to conceal services around electrical power, data, telecoms, etc. etc. So they used to have electrical cables under the floor, leak detection cables, cold airflow racks. So tiles lift. We use tile lifter to lift the tiles. So used to have grommet in the tiles to pass cables, etc. etc. Types of raised access floor. We used to have die-formed welded steel construction. They have hollow inside used to bring cold air from under the raised floor into the room. Most of the data center we used die-formed welded steel construction. The other type is die-formed welded steel shell with cement or calcium filled core. Types of raised access floor tiles. Mostly there are three types of raised access floor tiles: galvanized floor tiles, wood filled floor tiles, or carbon fiber floor tiles. Loading factors. So, how much load can we use on the raised access floor? It can be calculated by using UDL, uniformly distributed load, concrete load, point load, or rolling load. Raised access floor miscellaneous, the other things. So under the floor, we used to have signal reference grid or SRG. So low impedance path for high frequency noise and currents to dissipate before they cause breakdown of equipment. So all the racks they are bonded to the SRG. So its height used to be 40 to 60 centimeter and so raised access floor weight, so it used to be 7.5 kg per panel up to 13 kg per panel. Suspended ceiling. So in a data hall, we used to have suspended ceiling as well. It's not necessary, but most of the data center they used to have suspended ceiling. So they use it to conceal cabling, light fixtures, ducts, and pivots. Obviously, they're used for aesthetic purpose as well. Height between raised floor to suspended ceiling should be at least 2.60 meter or 260 centimeter, and minimum 46 centimeter of clearance between water sprinkler head and nozzles of a gas based fire suppression system. So basically 40 centimeter raised floor height, above 260 centimeter, and above 46 centimeters. So it all becomes like 260 plus 300 and 346 centimeter. Apart from that, what's inside the computer room data hall? So we used to have normal lights as well as emergency lights as well in case of shutdown. So emergency lights they will be switched on. We used to have smoke heads to detect smoke or dust inside the computer room, or we used to have VESDA pipes, or we use both smoke heads plus VESDA pipes, VESDA system as well. So in case of fire, because servers they emit heat, so in case of fire, so we used to have fire extinguisher inside the data hall or computer room, and we used to have sprinkler mist system pipes and nozzles inside the data hall or computer room as well. I'll explain this system later. So we used to have power distribution units. These are the different from the rack power distribution units. So we used to send electricity from the switchboard to these power distribution units. From these power distribution unit, we send it to the rack. We used to have fire alarm panel sounders in case of fire and any issue. So they will sound to evacuate the computer room or the data hall and to let everyone know about the situation. We used to have cables and ducts. We used to have sensors to monitor temperature and humidity. We used to have crack and or crash units for cooling. I will explain them later. We used to have humidifier to provide humidity to the data hall. That's all for today. Please subscribe my channel and watch my all videos.